What is up, my seafood friends? And I just hit 1,000 subscribers. Oh, this feels unreal. 1,000 subscribers. So in celebration of passing 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be introducing something new into all my videos. Ads, mid-roll ads. I'm sorry. I am going to be able to monetize my channel so I can add mid-roll ads. I'm only gonna add one per video. I'm not gonna like bombard you guys with any of them. But holy crap! 1,000 subscriber special will be coming soon. But in the meantime, welcome to r/Tales from the Customer. I'm your host, Dr. Fishsticks, and Tales from the Customer is the opposite of Tales from Retail. It's interesting, funny, wholesome, or bad stories coming from the customer's point of view. So let's get into it. The food delivery driver who doesn't understand that drinks can spill. My wife ordered a couple drinks from Warbucks using Pooper Pete's food delivery. The drinks arrive, and they're right in front of the door of the house, on the little step at the threshold. I try to open the door gently so I can get the drinks, but it's absolutely impossible. The drinks fall down on the porch and spill everywhere. They go into the garbage. They're completely useless now. How could you be so challenged as to not realize that if you put the drinks there, there's no way to get to them without knocking them over? Always keep your copy of the receipt. I live in a moderately bad area, not the worst, but it has a very high crime rate, and there's a limited pool of quality restaurants that I don't have to make a grand exodus to travel to. There ended up being a super cute seafood restaurant that opened in our local plaza, so I was hyped to visit. The whole place was decorated, there was a nice sea blue indirect lighting that made it look like you were underwater, the whole shebang. I thought, finally, somewhere nice to eat. The only downside is that I was given plastic utensils from my crab, which was finally explained to me as a side effect of customers stealing much of their flatware, which I can understand is a problem, but it's pretty difficult to eat shellfish without anything to break into it with. The day I visited, it was completely dead inside, which is great for my introverted self, but the waitress complained to me that she hadn't had any customers all day or the previous. As a server, I can understand how frustrating that would be. My bill was a bit under $50, so I went ahead and left $20 instead of $10 in case business didn't pick up. A few days later, I checked my bank and see I was billed for $180 at the restaurant instead of $70. Clearly this was an issue. I went back to the restaurant to speak with the manager, but the only employees that were there were the same waitress and allegedly a cook in the back. I told the waitress that there was a mistake when I visited and I was overcharged. As soon as I pull out my copy of the receipt, the waitress got extremely defensive and told me that only managers can issue refunds and she can't even open the register. So I asked to go see the manager, who she says isn't there. I ask when the manager will be there and she doesn't know. I ask the manager's name and she's not allowed to tell. So at this point, I suspect the waitress altered my tip when she closed my tab. I ended up going home, waiting until the next day, and calling the restaurant multiple times over the course of the day until someone who is not the waitress answers. It was a cook who put me on line with the manager, who tells me I'm going to have to bring the receipt to him so he can verify the correct total. I go in within the hour and he tells me he can offer a discount on my next meal. I'm like, no. I've been charged over $100 more than I agreed to pay. I need a refund. He refuses and threatens to have me trespassed from the restaurant. I end up having to go to the police with my receipt and filing a report. And then, and only then, did I get a refund. Anyways, keep your receipts. Otherwise, it's your word against theirs. Jesus, I didn't even know you could keep the receipts from restaurants. I've only ever, been to a restaurant by myself once. And, wow, that is a scary situation. Just, losing $100 because someone just lied. She wants a what? So my wife is in hospice and really does not eat much anymore. A little earlier on in hospice, she would get hungry for very specific things that were sometimes pretty odd. One day, she said she would like a Chateaubriand. We had shared one on a special night a few years ago, so maybe that was the reason. We're in whatever you want mode, so someone Googles up a location and I make the call. It's a very nice restaurant that doesn't do to go, so I explain the situation. The manager gets on and says it will be ready in about 20 minutes. We arrive, and the manager and two other employees have the steak with two soups. I realize this guy must be familiar with hospice to include the soups, when I notice the chef has cut the Chateaubriand into very tiny pieces, understanding that it's probably all she could handle and we wouldn't have the quality steak knives at the hospital. Brought tears to my eyes, and one day I'll return to this place. I thought I'd have every chance I get. She ate like 2 bites, but it was worth it. Yeah, see, this is another example of more wholesome stories on this subreddit. Time to boycott my favorite fast food place. So, I order food a hell of a lot more than I should. There's a place near me that does really good kebabs and stuff, so I've ordered from there at least 20 times. I usually never have an issue with an order. It takes a little long, sure, but it's worth my wait. Anytime I've had something wrong with the order or missing, I haven't bothered to say anything because I usually just don't care to complain or anything. Last night, they'd sent me the wrong drinks, so I tapped into my account that the drinks were wrong, and it was automatically refunded back to me. Cool, fine. However, today, I placed another order with them and proceeded to get a phone call from the actual restaurant about the drinks I had said were incorrect. I explained to them, yes, that they had sent me the wrong drinks and they weren't the ones I'd chosen. And they just proceeded to be quite mean about what I did was wrong, and I should have called them directly so I could have come and pick up my drinks. Obviously, I didn't think of calling them directly. That's the whole point of a food delivery service. They deal with the orders and payments. The guy on the phone told me that they'd have to start refusing service to me because of what I had done. I canceled my order and cried, partially because they were so horrible on the phone, partially hormones probably. I was just kind of dumbfounded that I'd spent hundreds at this place, but was no longer allowed service over a £4 refund. I even considered placing an order again and coming to the compromise of ordering something for £4 that they didn't need to send just to balance it out, despite the fact that the incorrect things they'd sent were useless to me because I don't drink them. Then I went to read the reviews, and wow, I don't think I'd even want to keep buying from there anymore. The only time the restaurant commented on reviews was the bad ones, with answers like, "You don't even know what good food tastes like," or "You are Muslim, why are you lying?" And even typing things like haha when people are saying their food was cold when it came. Probably a good thing they don't want to serve me anymore. When my food got here, it was cold. Ha 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 ha. Hotel front desk attendant checks me into the wrong room, unaware till after midnight. Last Friday night, I stayed at a Holloway Inn. I made my reservation at 4 p.m. and checked in at about 9:45. I get to my room and do the usual. Order a pizza, shower, watch TV. At midnight, two women in their 50s open my door. They apologize and immediately walk out. I had a little chuckle and let it slide. Figured the doors didn't automatically lock for whatever reason, so I had to flip it and go back to watching TV. At 12:15 a.m., I get a knock on my door. It's a different front desk attendant than earlier. Female, 50s. Employee, I'm going to need you to come downstairs. Me? Why? Because I don't know who you are, why you're in this room, or how you got here. I get dressed and head down, a little agitated, not because I was going downstairs, but because of her wording. I gave her my ID, and she says the guy earlier checked me into room A, but had me go to room B. She says she's going to go ahead and let me stay in room B since I'm already there. Gee, thanks. So I walk back up to my room, undress, and hop into bed because I'm ready for it. At 12:30 a.m., the room phone rings. It's the front desk attendant again. She tells me she needs me downstairs again because she can't find my payment info. So once again, I get dressed, trudge downstairs, and hand her my card. She doesn't do anything with the card except to read the numbers and check her screen. She had the information and just wanted to verify it seems. So I go back up and crash. The next morning, I go to check out and it's a different attendant at the desk. Female, 20s. Employee, how's your stay? Me, there isn't anything on the computer about what happened? Ah, yes. Sorry for everything. I can give you $10 off your stay. $115 originally. $10? I would think having two women walk into your room and then getting called down to the front desk twice at all after midnight would be worth more than a $10 compensation. She had you come down here? She didn't tell me that part. I explained the whole story. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I apologize. That never should have happened. I can knock it down to $75, but anything more than that and I'll have to get approval from the general manager, who isn't here this weekend. So I accepted that with a smile. Not the girl's fault. I'll definitely be writing corporate this afternoon, though. Jeez, I cannot understate how annoying that situation would be to deal with. But sadly, ladies and gents, that is all the time we have for today. If you like this video, press the like button. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, comment them down below. And if you really like this video and want to see more like it, please subscribe. And that is all for today. So until the next video, goodbye. And thank you for 1,000 subscribers.
I know it's my ADHD, cause I can't stop moving my feet. And I feel